Hi guys, it's Night Fear. I'm here to film a video on how I make my pumpkins. I also did this little hummingbird today to show you that you don't just have to use one kind of stamp, that you can use pretty much almost any kind of stamp that you have in your collection. So that's the hummingbird I did today. I'm not going to show you how I did this, but if you can do the pumpkins, you can do this. Same concept. Okay, and then this was the very first one I did. It's not focusing really well, is it? Okay. And then this is the next one, and this one I did for a pocket letter. That's why it's mounted the way it is. But that's how I did. And then this one I made today to show you, you don't just have to do them in orange, that you can kind of make it, you know, different colors. And on this one and this one, the stems, this is the gold and this is the silver. It's for the glitter adhesive paper that they have at the Dollar Tree. Okay, and then the glue, as you can look, as you see it shimmering, though, that actually is from the glitter gel pens that I use. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put these all away, and we are going to, I'm going to start by giving you the list of supplies that you need. Alright, sorry about that. Christopher decided to come in and pay me a visit. So, the supplies. Alright, you're going to need a stamp. Alright, now this is the stamp that I used for the hummingbird one. And this is the stamp that I'm going to use for the pumpkin that I'm doing with you today. And this is the one I got. Oh, this is just not wanting to focus at all. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Focus, focus. Anyway, I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's the Stampabilities stamp. And the number, it's called Harvest Pumpkin. And it's D1203. I guess is the number. It regularly is $3.99. I waited and got it half price. So if you wait for one of the Hobby Lobby's half price sales, then you can get this cheaper. I'm not sure if they have one similar to this at Michael's or anything like that, because I don't have one of those stores in my area. Okay, so you can use any kind of stamp that you need. You just need a stamp. And of course, because you're using stamps, you need an ink pad. Okay, and yes, this is a huge ink pad. I got this on sale also. They didn't have any of the smaller ones left. I do also use the Stampabilities ink pad, which I also got on sale. I recommend for this project to do black, but I do also have gold and silver and that I do sometimes use for different things. If you guys would like me to do a crafting video where I give you some tips, because I am a newer crafter, so if you want me to give you some tips on different things to buy, you know, things to buy first, or tips and tricks on how to get cheaper things, just let me know and I can do a video like that. But today I'm going to use the Rangel Archival ink for the stamping. Alright, so there's that. I use baby wipes to clean my stamps and to clean my hands or to clean any other mess. These I got at the Dollar Tree for $1. So, you know, any wipes will do. It doesn't matter. And let's see what else we need here. You do not have to have a paper trimmer, but you can have a paper trimmer to cut your paper down. If not, if you don't have a paper trimmer, then scissors. You can use a pair of scissors. I do recommend getting, if you're going to do any kind of paper crafting for long, getting a pair of fussy cutting scissors. I got these at Hobby Lobby. These are their precision cut no stick scissors. And I got them on sale. They were 50 or 40% off, and I think that I paid like around $5 for them, something like that. They were in one of my recent Hobby Lobby hauls. But these really help get in because they're so small and the point is so sharp. They help you get into the smaller edges that you need. So I'm going to use those. You are going to need some kind of adhesive. I use the Elmer's tape runner. You can get this at Walmart. It's like around $3 to get one and a refill, and then the refill packs are like, I think are like $2. So it's not that expensive. Of course, you don't get that much, but if you're gonna do paper crafting, I like this, to use this, because I really don't like wet glue. I am exploring some other types of wet glue, so I might change my mind, but as of right now, this is what I usually use. And let's see here, what else? What else? I have a list here because, you know, I'm forgetful. What happened to the... Now, see, I had everything all set up, and now I'm losing stuff. I do recommend, you're going to have, if you look at my... What did I do with those? These, I used cardstock for the base to put the pumpkin on, because you do have the little, you know, flourishes that go off that you really can't cut out too well. So I recommend the first stamp gets put on a piece of cardstock. And I wanted to show you something really quick. This is what cardstock I have. And you'll notice it's in different sizes. Alright, see, there's that. And then I have the smaller. And then I have this, which I use for my card bases when I make cards. Because I am starting to make greeting cards. Not that good at it yet, but one of these days. And then this biggest. Now, all of this cardstock I got from Hobby Lobby. If you look, you kind of, I don't know where it's going to be in your store, but they actually sell bags that they have cut up cardstock. And you get a little of this and a little of that. But if you wait and get it when they have the 50% off sale, then you can get basically 2 bags for $1, and that's how I've kind of stockpiled all this cardstock. And they got all, oops, and I have this one too. But as you can see, I mean, they have a lot of different colors, and it's helpful when you're doing little projects. Even if you're not a card maker, they're great to cut up for bases for, this is almost this perfect size. You only have to trim a little bit for pocket letters, and things like that too. And these I use for my Julie Nutting dolls, as this is the perfect size to stamp on here and then decorate those. And I can do a tutorial on that if you want me to. Okay, so that's the cardstock. So you don't have to have a piece of cardstock, but I do recommend it. And if you don't have a piece of cardstock, then you definitely need, oh, there it is. You definitely will need a piece of base paper. Okay, so this is the cardstock I'm going to use for what we're doing today. Okay, let me think. What else? You need, well, okay, this is optional. The next couple things are optional. The glitter pens, that's just to give it some dimension and to make it shine and make it pretty, because, you know, you could love to make things pretty. Colored pencils. This is Prismacolor Premier pencils. I love my Prismas. And see this, you can see some of the beautiful colors that this has. And yes, I'm insane. I move all my colors and I make it in color order, and yeah. But anyway, this is what one of the things I got for my birthday this year. Just about a week, little over a week ago, my birthday. But anyway, colored pencils help with the, if you see, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but you can see kind of, but I outlined the leaf. I outlined the leaf, the edges of the leaf. Let me do, I've already done the one, I have this in stages, so, and see how the outside of it's really dark? That I did with the color pencil. And then I used the yeah, I know what I'm trying to say here, people. The gel pen for the line in the center to give it a little bit of glitter. So, but that's up to you. You don't have to have that. It just kind of adds to the depth of it. Let's see what else. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to film when Kaylin's not here. You might also want a corner rounder. And this is the corner rounder that I hauled. I don't think it was the last Hobby Lobby. I think it was the one before that. But it does do nice, as you can see. See how nice and pretty the corners are. And it just gives your project a really finished look. But once again, totally optional. You do not have to have that. Okay, let's see here. Last part of the list, and then we'll get into how you actually make these. Paper. Okay, you need to pick your paper, and for this you need to pick something for the stem, something for the leaves, and then you need 5 different colored paper, whatever color you're going to do your pumpkin. And I used orange, yellows, you know, that colors. But it's very important, I am going to throw this little tip out there, to keep your scraps. As you can see, I keep different sizes. These are my small, yeah, this is paper that I got at Hobby Lobby. I didn't pick this out. I got this in a bundle, and I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm doing with the sharp paper yet, but I will do it. And see, that's the glitter paper, the silver and the gold pieces that I used. Just, I mean, all different color kinds, shapes, paper. And I have 2 envelopes full of the small. And then I have this, which is full of larger pieces of different scrap paper. And then I have another one that's cut. They're almost full sheets. So it's important as you're doing your crafts to keep those scraps. Because if you look, all of what I'm doing today's project with were scraps. So I'm not using any full sheets. Okay? Just a tip. So, get your paper together. Pick out which colors you want to do for which thing. Okay? Then, what we're going to do, this clipboard I got at Dollar Tree also, and because I do not have a craft room, I craft in my room on my bed. I needed a hard surface, and this is coming really handy. So the very first thing that we're going to do is pick out our paper. Okay, so you got your paper. You're going to cut down your cardstock, and then you're going to stamp. So you're going to take your stamp pad. You're going to ink up your stamp. Now, I've been getting pretty good impressions with this, but because you guys are watching me now, I'm probably not. So you're going to try to center this as best you can on your paper. Press it down good and hard. Ha-ha, we got a pretty good impression. Now see, it kind of messed up a little here, but it doesn't matter because we're covering all this with paper. The only thing, you see how it has this little woohoo, the little I don't even know what you actually call that, but we want it for this because I'm actually because you have to let the ink dry for a few minutes, but I'm going to take a gel pen and I'm going to, the black gel pen, and go over that so it looks really pretty. So this is your base. This is what you're going to use for your base, okay? And I'm done with this because I've stamped everything else because I didn't want to take too long, and I know this video is already long because I talk a lot, so sorry guys. Okay. So then you're going to take your piece of your sheet of paper and you're going to stamp on it. All right. So you're going to take the sheet that you want for your stem and you're going to stamp. Okay. And you're going to let it dry and then you're going to cut it out. All right. Now, whenever I cut out my stem, I always cut a little bit out bigger than the stem. And it doesn't matter because we want paper under paper because this is a layered look. Here, I'll show you once again with my original one. If you look, see how the paper stands up? See how it stands up? I mean, and that's how it gets this layered look. And I'll show you how we do that, but it looks really cool and you can actually feel, you know, the different layers in it, and that's why I did it the way I did it. Okay. So that's the first part of it. Okay. And this you want to go ahead and tape down because that's the very first layer. Is this. So you just want to take it, glue it. You can use a glue gun, or not glue gun, a glue stick. Whatever your favorite adhesive is to do for paper. Okay. Oh, this is going to be fun trying to do this. Okay. I'm trying to get this in the camera here. But you just want to line it up. See how it's lined? You see that? Can you see how it's lined up? And then we're just going to take it and we're going to move it over. This is little give, not much. Okay. So there's the first part. Oh, let me go ahead and take our pen and go ahead and do both sides of this. Okay. And I want to go ahead and do this bottom too, just because that right there is not going to be covered. And we also want to go ahead and take our green and do this. Here, let me take this down a little bit. And go ahead and do this green right here because that's part of the leaf. Okay. So with whatever stamp you're doing this with, if there's anything that's outside of the stamp, you know, that you're not going to cover with paper, do something with it. Do it with gel pen, do it with, you know, if you have a Wink of Stella pen, which I don't have, you know, if you want to put a little glue and put some glitter on, however you want to do it. But don't just leave it blank because you don't want that to be distracting. You don't want it to be ugly where everything else is really pretty. So you're trying to decorate this as much as you can. Okay? So that's the first part. All right. Okay. So I've already got all my pieces cut out. All right. I've already got everything already cut out. And I'm going to show you in step by step what I did. Okay. So the first one I cut out was this one. Okay. And that's why I stamped this twice so you could see what I did. So basically, the very first layer, you want to cover the whole entire pumpkin. All right. Now, there's some planning to this because you need to figure out, you know, what you want this one, what you want, you know, what color you want which little part. All right. I decided I wanted this particular paper on the, you know, either on the right side or the left side. And I'll show you in a minute which I decided. But what you do is you take your scissors and you And I'm only going to do this once, guys. I'm not going to do this every single time because that will take us forever and you will be here for hours. All right, but you want it as neatly as you can. And as you can see, I'm cutting on the outside of the black line because you want that black line kind of as a base. Okay, now look. This is the leaf. We're not going to do the leaf, you know, a million different times because the leaf is just a leaf. The main thing is the pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around to where the pumpkin is. Okay. Like if I could see through the leaf, I'm going to cut where the pumpkin would be. All right. Now you need to make sure that you cut really well around the stem because you can see, you're going to see that part. Part's not going to be covered. And then you're just going to keep going around. I'm sorry guys, this camera is not focusing well at all. All right. And then you just cut around and ta-da, see? So I can actually save this and I can use it for another pumpkin. Okay, so, and then you look on here, and since pretty much all of this is used, now some people might cut this little part out here. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to throw this scrap away. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue, or not glue, sorry, I'm going to do the tape, and I'm going to put this down. Okay, and the one thing I forgot to have us do real quick was I forgot on this paper when it was before we cut it out, I should have done the black little line on it too, just so that it would, you know, shine, it would show up there too, because since we did it over here, we need to do the same thing here. Okay, all right, so the next one I chose was this one. Okay, all right, so I stamped it, and as you can see, this part here is going to be this orange paper, so I need to leave it blank. You see, I don't want to cover it, so I need to cut it so that I leave this open. Does that make sense? So when you cut it, you need to cut around that part so that this part is the orange and white paper. And that's basically what you're going to be doing with each layer. You're just going to be trimming it down, trimming it down, trimming it down until you have this one single center left. All right. So you just cut it down. Okay. And on the ones on the outside, just go ahead and, you know, keep doing the glitter on each one, so that way whatever shows up, that it will, that you'll see it. So it'll look like it's one piece sitting on top of it. Okay. All right, so there's that. And then you just carefully line this up, being very, very careful, and just lining it up. Okay, so there's our second part. See? So this will be open. All right, and so since this was the second layer, this is going to be, this is what you're going to see on this side. All right, see what I mean when